Hey, welcome back. Thank you for returning to my channel where I talk about cross stitch, life, books, TV. At some point Poppy will probably come running in, which is my daughter for anyone that's new. And yeah, I hope you enjoy watching. I have got some new subscribers, so hello to you and thank you for subscribing. And feel free to share and share with your friends to get them to try and subscribe as well. Right, not too much stitching. I've worked on 3 projects. I have got a finish though, and a little bit of a life update, some sucky news, some good news, but yeah, so I'll do the stitching in case anyone's here and they only really sort of enjoy those parts of it. So I'll start off with the first project that I worked on during the month, during September, is called Santa Sparkle. It's from a Christmas 2009 issue of Cross Stitcher, and this is him. So I know my webcam's not particularly very clear, but all this outer area is all really nice shades of blue, and I just really like it. It's got like a real retro-y kind of feel to it. Santa's been a little bit cheeky by winking, yeah, I just like it. It's not too big. Yeah, it's just nice and simple. So I did 150 stitches, so not loads. That is the width there, and those 150 stitches is probably this little section here mainly. I think I filled in a little bit more of the blue down here, and then I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, so the lighter areas just here, oh, I still need to get used to this, and here, they're in the DMC. I think they're the light effects. I think that's what they're called. I just call it all metallic threads, which is a nightmare. Just doing, I think, how many stitches did I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches, and that was enough to say I think I'm done with that really for this month, because it was just a nightmare. It was a nightmare to thread. It just kept all unraveling, and yeah, but that's the 2 colours. They are really nice. Because of my rubbish webcam, you're not going to get a true representation of it, but this is just a white with a glitter, and this is like a really nice kind of baby blue. That's E747, and this is E5200. Lovely colours, and I love the blues in this. And I just fancied stitching on something a little bit different, something I've not had out for a long time. So. Everything's better with a cup of tea. I particularly love my my Winnie the Pooh cup. I think I just got it out of Asda's. I suddenly realised this morning, I got up, I was wearing Winnie the Pooh pyjamas, and then I always get my dressing gown, and that was Winnie the Pooh. And then my sister bought me, I'm wearing them actually, these slippers which are like falling apart and got holes in them, but Winnie the Pooh. And then I had that mug, and I was like, at which point does this turn into an obsession? I was literally like, I could have been like a brand ambassador for Disney for it. Oh, that'd be so much fun, wouldn't it? So much fun. I've completely just lost my train of thought. What was I even talking about? Santa? Oh yeah, I haven't got a clue what I was saying about that now. Anyway, so it's done on a 14 count Ada, and my Stay Puft, obviously from Marshmallows, my second obsession. needle minder from Lisa at No More Lost Needles. I will put a link to her shop in my description. I get all my needle minders from there, and I've actually just got 2 more, and I've packed them away, and yeah, didn't think I should have got them out. My second one was my Egypt alphabets. I've got 504 stitches on, and that gave me the finish. So this was just to say mum. I think I started it back in like February probably, or beginning of March for her birthday or Mother's Day, because both of them are in March. And obviously, yeah, I didn't get it done. So all I need to do is just finish this one. And I've done that. I put it off for so long because I couldn't be bothered to work out where I needed to start compared to this U to keep it all level. And it was so easy. I do that. There's certain projects where I think, oh, I can't be bothered with that. And then actually, when I've got into it, I'm like, oh 2 days and I've actually finished it. Like, do you do that as well? Like, you just think, there's just certain projects that you just think, oh, I can't be bothered to pick that up. And then you're like, oh, actually, I have to do that, finish that now. You know, and it didn't take anywhere near as much work as what you thought it would. So that is just done on a scrap piece of Ada that I had. I think it's about a 16 count. It's like a beigey colour with like a brown fleck going through it. So it sort of like lends itself really well to like that ancient kind of feel to it. The next one I worked on was the Positivity Rules Stitch Along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. I think that's all that it's called. I've not done this one. I'm still on section 1. I don't know why, because I loved it. I was so excited to start this, and then during the summer I've kind of just lost my little stitchy bug a bit. Yeah, I don't really know why, but anyway, you go through phases, don't you, on and off with cross stitch, I find. So I only got 98 stitches in this, and that was on the F and the U, which I'm just about finishing. Just got to do the top layer of stitches over here. And that is section 1, or part 1, and we'll say grateful. So I've just got another one of these windows to put over here. So I'll finish that U and hopefully the L tonight. I'm kind of in the mood for a bit of a film and some cross stitch and chill out. And then we'll probably be back on it tomorrow. Poppy's with her dad tomorrow, so I get a bit of time to myself. And the touring cars is on, and I like to watch that now on a Sunday. So which I'll explain more. But yeah, so I may do some more tomorrow. I may perhaps I'll crack on with either the other letters, or I might perhaps start on the window just because it will be starting some different colours. The fabric, I don't know whether you can tell, is kind of like a pale pink, and it's got like these white, oh my god, these white splotches on them. So that I got from Lakeside Needlecraft. It's a 32 count Murano even weave, and I think it's called Powder Blush or Powder Pink Splash. It's the first time I've worked on this. I'm pretty sure it's the first time I've worked on this count of fabric, and the first time I've worked on a fabric that's got any kind of like print or design on it as well. So it's a lot of news. A lot of new stuff for me. And for Harriet from Spinnyfield Stitchery, if you were wondering, this is my hoop, and this is my grime guard that I made. So she put a question in one of the groups asking about what people use. I think it might have been in her group actually, for the stitchy. I will add a link into her. She sells cross stitchy bits as well. It's really nice. Into her page as well. Whether people use hoops frames or like R&R frames, and I was saying that I've tried to use R&R frames and they get on my nerves. Like, one, I just don't find they hold the tension as tight, and then having to pack it out with fabric, it just gets on my nerves. And with the Lowry stand as well, where they end up squashing the bars. So yeah, so I always end up going back to my hoops, and I just love it. Sorry. So yeah, even with my Haid, I do this. So it's obviously a lot more fabric tucked in. There's quite a bit you can see on the back there. There's quite a bit tucked in. But I just prefer it. It works well with my Lowry stand. And yeah, and I made this grime guard as well. I love this fabric. I need to make some more, I think. So yeah, so that's the only 3 projects I've worked on. Like I say, I've not really had much of a stitchy mood. I do feel like it's slightly coming back, but I don't know what it is. It's just I feel like I'm not stitching anything at the moment that kind of like excites me. I think I need a new start, but one for me. I think in the new year I might look at perhaps kitting up a Haid. Possibly. My birthday's in January, so I could ask for some vouchers for Hobbycraft or something like that to help with the threads, or I don't know if Lakeside Needlecraft do vouchers or something like that, or whether my dad will perhaps give me a bit of money and I can just buy them. But yeah, there's nothing. I've got cross stitches that I need to finish that are for me. One I need to finish it, but there's an awful lot of backstitch, to the point where I think really I need to like bring that out every now and again, do a bit of backstitch and like pack it away again, because to do all that backstitch once it's completed would just like, yeah, would do your head in, because it's quite intricate. And that's my French bistro, if anyone remembers that. It's a dimensions kit. I think it is called European Bistro, but maybe I'll get that out this month, and just work on some backstitch or something like that. I don't think I've got an awful lot of stitching left on it, and I think some of it actually is half stitch. It's just like half stitch as well, so that's really quick, because a lot of it is like background, and then you just did the building and the detail bits in 4 crosses. So I might do that this month actually, get that out and just see where I am with it. My Killer Wow cross stitch, again, I've not got an awful lot left. That's a nice one to do, really. If I'm not in much of a mood, now I haven't got the concentration, that's probably a better one for me to get out, because it's on a 14 count Aida. There's very few colours involved in it, and usually quite blocky in colours. I think I literally just have a bit of grass, a bit of greenery at the top and the sea at the bottom, and I think that's it. So, but they don't excite me. I don't want to I'm not like, yeah. The only one that I really want to work on is my Haid, the Together We Stand, and it's the one project I can't, because I haven't got, I don't know if I said in my last video or not, but I haven't got my iPad anymore. It's finally kaput, which obviously I used to work off of that. I broke the screen on it, a long time ago, actually, over a year ago, it cracked, and I mean like all over the screen, to the point that even at the top of it, you can actually see like the workings of the of the iPad. So it's not just a case of I'll replace the screen, but now it's got to the point where you have an app open and it comes out of the app and switches to a different app, and it does loads of weird stuff. And I think probably because the sensors or something are damaged on it. So with the Stitchy retreat now cancelled for Milton Keynes, I think we will get refunds. So if I can get the refund before maybe Black Friday, I kind of settled on a Samsung tablet, and I would like to get, and I cannot remember the name of the app now. There's another app, Pattern Keeper. Yeah, I think that's it. On my iPad I used to use Goodreader. I think it was something like that, Goodreader, something like that, which was good. I had no problems with that, but a lot of people are saying about Pattern Keeper and how much better it is and how good it is, and it works better on an Android and a Samsung rather than sort of like a Kindle Fire or something like that. So I think I'm going to settle for that. If I'm not able to get it, then I think I'll probably get it in the new year. Amazon are really good in that some of their larger items you can pay in instalments and it's interest free. So that's what I did with my Fitbit, my watch. You could do it over 5 months. So I think once we get Christmas out of the way, I'll definitely, if I don't get it, if for whatever reason I need that money for something else, Christmas presents or something, then I'll definitely get it in the new year and just get it on instalments. And so that's the only one that I kind of really miss stitching, and I've no idea why, because you know, you're on a really tiny 25 count fabric. I have loads of fabric everywhere. It takes ages to set up, and you know, and you have to kind of set the iPad up, and then I set my phone up because I count my stitches, so I need to get the app on that, and all the threads out. But I just love stitching on it. I just absolutely love stitching on it, and I really got into a bit of a routine with it, and it was really coming along quite nicely, and I wasn't that far off of another page finish as well. So I'm gutted, but yeah. But I'd love to do a Haid for myself. I just don't know what. I like, my best ones are probably either wildlife, like I love killer whales, and bears, gorillas. So if anyone can recommend any, please tell me, because I don't like their website that much, in terms of, if you don't know what you're looking for, I don't think it's necessarily the easiest one. I don't know the designers, and there's a hell of a lot of designers on there, so it's quite difficult. I know there is a search bar, but I remember searching for, I think, killer whales or orcas before, and either nothing came up or a couple come up, and then later on someone shared a chart with a killer whale in it, and I was like, I searched that and that didn't come up. So yeah, so if anyone can recommend any. The other things I really like is Lord of the Rings, and I'm sure they've had some Lord of the Rings ones on there, and there was another one, I can't remember. There was another subject, and it's just gone. The other one I have seen, so as I've said, I'm in my Facebook group, which I'll also leave a link into. There's a really nice lady, Becky, in there, and she has got, I don't know if she started it yet, but I think it's called Animal Kingdom, and that was quite nice. It's I think it was one where it was like on a book a bookcase or something, and you had loads of different animals, and I thought that might be quite nice, because I do like my animals. There's a lot of detail in that, but I still wasn't like wow with it, but I did like it, so I don't know. But yeah, so if anyone can recommend any designers that do that sort of thing, or any like are good for wildlife ones, any Egyptian ones, or like Lord of the Rings or something like that, please let me know. So I've got my little book. That is all the stitchy news. So if anyone wants to switch off now, I 100% understand. Now we get to go into a nice bit of life and what's been going on. So I finished Karen Slaughter's book, The Silent Wife. Oh my god. For anyone, I think I've said before how much I love these books. She's a crime writer. I particularly love these books because they follow the characters all the way through. This was the 20th book, and I just loved it. I think I read it in about a week, and it was kind of, I sound a bit weird when I say this, that it was good because she'd kind of gone back to being a little bit, not gory, but the crime was a little bit more edgy sort of thing. It was a bit more involved. It was, you know, I had like rapes and stuff like that in it. I'm not saying I enjoy a book with that sort of stuff in. I just, you know, it just, I don't know, it, I feel really weird now. I just think it makes it a bit more interesting than when you've got sort of like murders and stuff, than to say like, I don't know, a bank robbery or something. So it was kind of nice because it kind of felt like her like earlier books again, and I love the characters in there. So yeah, I'd recommend them. Karen Slaughter. Start off at number 1. I think it's called like Blindsided. They'll be really cheap on Kindle now if you have got a Kindle. But yeah, love them. Right, Veggie Patch. Oh, I have had so many tomatoes off of there, and I love it. Like, I don't eat tomatoes just on their own. I think they're gross or weird. But I love them in my slow cooker. I normally used to just get like passata sauce, and then lady at work, Jane, said, oh, she uses like chopped tomatoes. So I was like, oh, I'll try them. So I tried them and I really liked them. So when I do like a spag bowl or meatballs or something like that, meatballs, then I chuck them in. I just love them, and it's so convenient, just literally to go out, chop, 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 chop. Yep, lovely. Wash them, chop them in. 8 hours. It all like breaks down, and really, really good. I really enjoy it. And the cucumbers have done really well. They came out like, I don't know if anyone saw my pictures on Instagram, like, you know, bigger than my arm sort of thing. They were massive, and they were like about that wide. They were like probably as wide as my cup. Like, you can see that. So yeah, so they've gone down a treat, so I will definitely do them again next year. Maybe like some onions, because I use quite a lot of onions. I don't know what else I would do. There's no point me doing stuff just for the sake of doing it, that's the thing. But I use quite a lot of potatoes, although sometimes Poppy gets a little bit funny with potatoes. So yes, that's my veggie patch. I think it's probably done for the year now. There are some tomatoes on there, some like stragglers, but they're not, yeah, whether I'll get them, I don't know. So I mentioned earlier about the retreat being cancelled. I was really looking forward to that. I was really looking forward to the break. Poppy was going to be with her dad for the weekend. I was a little bit umming and ahhing about it anyway, to be honest, because I thought, I don't know how it was going to work. Well, no, not that. Sarah did explain it very well, actually, in the group. it was more, I didn't know how comfortable I was going to feel actually being with that many people. I know everyone would be really sensible and practical, but you still, it just makes you worry, I think, doesn't it? So absolutely right decision to cancel it, and I'm hoping I can join in the virtual one. But I would say I've only got my phone, and actually I don't even know if Michael is still having Poppy now. So he was going to take her to Wales because obviously that's where he comes from. But they've all gone into like their local lockdowns and that now, haven't they? So, and I think we're due some more restrictions from Monday. So yeah. We got an announcement at work that we should, or will potentially be working at home now for the next 6 months, which puts us into March. I love it. I absolutely love working from home. I would be quite happy, in all honesty, not to have to go back into the office. I miss the people I work with, and I miss the banter. So saying that, actually, I say I don't miss it, and then when I've gone in for like a couple of hours or something like that just to see people, then when you're chatting away with everyone, and then it's like, oh, actually, you realise how much you do miss people. So I say that I would enjoy actually being back with them, but maybe like 1 or 2 days a week. I certainly would not want to. Would not look forward to going back full time again into the office. There's nothing I can't do at home, so why not do it at home? So yeah. And I think I've said before, so I'm trying to be as eco-friendly as possible. So, new product alert, soap nuts. So, I watch a lady on YouTube, and I will link her video in to making your own cleaning products. Which is basically just like water, white vinegar, bicarb, some lemon juice, and some essence of this and that, lavender essence and stuff. One of the things that she shared was these. They kind of look like little conkers, and you have, hopefully you can see, kind of 4 or 5 of them, and it goes inside these little bags, and you use it instead of laundry detergent. They're 100% natural. They release when activated with the water, and that kind of swishy movement release, please don't ask me what the name of it is, but this cleaning agent. And people have literally been using these for I don't know how many hundreds of years. And yeah, you just put that little baggie with the nuts in. You use about 4 or 5 soap nuts, and that goes in the wash, and you can get about 4 or 5 washes out of each one. If you do hot washes, then I think you get about 3 or 4. But I love them. I absolutely love it. I've been using them for about 3 weeks now, 3 or 4 weeks. I got them off a bag called EcoZone soap nuts, and I got them off of Amazon, with those other companies that do them. And I worked out of the kilogram bag that I got, which probably cost about £15 with postage, I will get double the amount of washes out for the same price. And I used to only buy the Tesco powder as well. I don't do brands, so I don't see the point. I don't see no difference. So I'm saving 15 quid. By the time I go through the bag, the kilogram bag, I'm saving like £15. And it's good for the environment. There's no chemicals going down into the waters. And I'm hoping I can switch then to a eco. Oh, fuck! I never know how to pronounce them. Eco. Oh, Eco Eva, Eco Eva, Eco Over. Oh, I don't know. But they're fabric softener. At the minute, I'm just using up my Lenore. But yeah, once that's gone, then I won't be buying no more sort of chemical based ones, and I'll hopefully go back to all plant based and natural. There was a really good David Attenborough documentary on called Extinction. If you have any interest in kind of trying to do your bit for the environment and trying to want to be a bit more eco-friendly and stuff like that, I highly recommend that you watch that documentary. It should be on BBC iPlayer. But yeah, between these videos on YouTube that I've seen and that Extinction one, you just realise, you know, everything that's wrong with us as a society when it comes to our planet and how we treat it and the animals, and the amount of species of animals and plants going extinct purely because of us is quite astounding. And a lot of it is progression, and you know, don't get me wrong, I don't think that's going to save the planet, but it certainly, it might help a little bit with trying to keep the waters clean. You know, for one example, there is a pod of killer whales in Scotland, like a native pod to that area, and they've not had a calf for quite a few years now. And when one of the females died and washed up, they did an autopsy, and her ovaries have actually stopped working. And she had, I can't remember the name of the chemical, but she had very high levels of this in her body, and that's why the ovaries have stopped working, because of the rubbish that was being pumped into the oceans. It's now not, but it was like so many years ago that they were doing it, and it's still having an effect. And now it's unlikely that that pod will have any more calves. So that whole family group eventually will just die out, and Scotland won't have any more killer whales. And I just think that's really sad. Yeah, it just makes me sad. I think we're just, as a race, I think we're just disgusting. So, yeah. But anyway, so the last bit of news, which is my sucky news, is my good news, I say, is that I'm still dating Dave. I think I mentioned him on my last video. Things are going very well. We're 4 months in. Yay. He's very nice as well, bless him. Gets on very well with Poppy. Poppy seems to like him, and that's more important than anything. But yeah, so my sucky news is I had a smear test and came back with some abnormal cells, some low grade something. So I've now got to go and have a I really should look up these words. Coloscopy, I think. So for anyone that gets grossed out, maybe put your fingers in your ears. So basically, it'd be like having another smear, but then they'll get some different dyes, and put that onto my cervix, and then that will determine what cells are abnormal and what area is affected, and then if they need to, they'll take a biopsy. They have said it in both letters that it is low grade, so, and they've said it's very rare that it would be like cervical cancer, but there could be those cells there that, if not treated or taken away, would lead to it. So it is a little bit scary, but I know my cousins also had this, and it takes a while for it all to get sorted. I've got an appointment on the 13th of November where I'll have that done, and they said that it could be that it's cleared up and it's gone, my body has fought off whatever's there, and and that will be it. But that happens in like 4 out of 10 cases. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to be one of the 6 out of 10 and they're going to need a biopsy, and then that goes away, and they'll grade the cells as to sin 1, sin 2 and sin 3. Sin 3 being like they're just before cancer, and work your way down. So I think I got the news on Wednesday, and I was really upset. It wasn't a very good Wednesday at all. I did go on a complete downer. And then I thought about it Thursday, and spoke to my dad and everything, and I feel fine about it now. I'm sure when the appointment comes up, what's it, about 4 weeks away, I'll start getting a bit nervous again, just to find out what actually is going on. But it has described them as low grade, so I'm hoping that if I need any treatment, they kind of scrape it, don't they? Or sometimes I think it might be like when you cauterize something. I think it's like a little, like a hoop or something. It kind of cauterizes it as it takes it away, scrapes away the cervix bits. I think, I can't remember. I'm trying to remember for when my cousin had it done. You know, and then you go for your follow-up smears, and then it will tell me whether I need to have any more treatment or not. But that smear might not be for like another 12 months. So this time next year I'm still going to be looking at getting smears and checking to see whether everything's okay. But that's why I never ever delay my smears. I do them every 3 years. As soon as I get the letter, I book them in, and thank God that I do. So for anyone if you're listening and you've delayed a smear, then don't. Go get it done. And that's why I didn't know whether to share this or not, because it is quite a personal thing, but I think it's an important thing, and it is part of life, and it helps to talk about stuff, doesn't it? And there might be somebody else that's actually, perhaps, that's had this done, that might be able to help me, or maybe there's someone that is going through the same thing at the moment and is watching this video and can, you know, whatever. So if there is someone out there that has had it done and they're able to provide me some words of encouragement and support, then please do. Unfortunately my cousin that had it done isn't talking to me at the moment over something really stupid. So I'm kind of, and I've deliberately not Googled, because you just hear, it will all be like cancer, 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 and I'll end up freaking myself out, and that's not what I want. So I'm gonna go. It is just gone 5. I'm gonna go sort out Poppy's dinner. I hope you all have a good evening. Again, thank you for subscribing. I'll try and add in all those links for the shops and my group and everything in the description, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.